The update today is a cumulative and summarized presentation of activities of the armed forces in all its operations across the country between the 2nd and 15th July 2021. These operations involve kinetic and non-kinetic engagements in different locations within the various theaters, which yielded substantive results. While the security situation in some locations remained peaceful and calm, some others recorded some incidents within the period. Operation Hadar in Daji. Troops of Operation Hadar in Daji sustained the onslaught against armed bandits and other criminal elements in the northwest zone of the country. Both land and air operations were conducted simultaneously in Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, and Kaduna states within the period. These include ambush operations against armed bandits at Galadi village in Zamfara state, as well as stop and search operations along Isa Shinkafi Road in Zamfara state, Shemeruan Godia Road, and Group in Bauri, that's border between Katsina and Zamfara states. Also, troops responded to distress calls of bandits' attack at Sabongarin Yankara, in which troops swiftly mobilized to the location and repelled the attack. Additionally, troops conducted clearance and cordon and search operations at Chabi village under Marabu district in Maru local government area of Zamfara state, as well as Jarkuka, Yangaya, and Buku villages in Jibia local government area of Katsina state. Troops also within the period conducted rescue operations at Maraba Megora village in Katsina and Dogon Haku village in Kaduna state. In each of these encounters, troops engaged and subdued the criminals and several livestock, as well as arms and ammunition, including AK-47 rifles, locally made pistols, Dane guns, and several rounds of 7.62 millimeter ammunition were recovered. On 12 July 2021, based on credible and timely information on the massing up of armed bandits around Sububu Forest, possibly in preparation for an attack, after confirmatory air recce, the air component of Operation Hadar in Daji dispatched its NAT platforms and engaged the bandits in a precision bombardment. Several armed bandits, their motorcycles, camp, and other equipment were destroyed during that encounter. This has dealt a serious setback to their criminal activities within the area. The Air Force component of the operation has continued to dominate the airspace with air reconnaissance and also in support of ground troops. Generally, the situation in some locations within Operation Hadar in Daji theater of operation is considerably calm, which is evident as locals were seen carrying out their daily activities peacefully. To this end, residents of Magami district in Gusau local government area of Zamfara state held a peaceful rally in appreciation of military operations that have ensured relative peace in their environment on the 3rd of July. The rally, according to the residents, was as a result of the locals being able to access their farmlands without harassment and attacks by bandits. Now we look at Operation Harin Kai. Between the 2nd and 15th July, troops of Operation Harin Kai intensified the onslaught against Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP elements within the state. Several operations were conducted, which has degraded the operational capabilities of the terrorists within that area and denied them freedom of action in the northeast zone. These operations, considerable success were achieved. While on clearance patrol and fighting patrols, troops had contact and engaged some Boko Haram criminal elements with superior firepower and subdued them at Daushe village along Ngoshe, Ashigashia Road, as well as Yarchida and Wura Jabe general areas. In the same vein, the troops repelled the terrorist attack on security operatives between Jakana and Aunu and forced the terrorists to flee in disarray with attendant injuries and casualties. Also, large caches of arms and ammunition, including AK-47 rifles, RPG guns, and bags of assorted rounds of ammunition, as well as other equipment, gun trucks, and vehicles were recovered. In other development, troops on stop and search operation at Damasak, Munagaureje checkpoint, and Kukawa towns in Borno State, as well as Boltimari Forest in Yobe State, intercepted and arrested several terrorists and their logistics vehicle loaded with large quantities of assorted supplies. Additionally, within the period, several Boko Haram terrorists and Islamic State of West Africa, children and their wives, surrendered to own troops at Banki, local government area, following heavy operational activities of our own troops within the operation. Notably also on 2nd July, some elements of these terrorists were crossing Damaturu Meduguri Road in 3 gun trucks, attacked innocent civilians along their path. After receiving a distress call on the incident, a NAF, Nigerian Air Force Mi-35 helicopter was dispatched to the scene and located the terrorists and engaged them. The gun trucks were destroyed and most of its occupants. Other fleeing terrorists were neutralized by ground troops during mop-up operation and recovered several weapons. The pictures of these encounters are available for you at the end of this brief. Now a look at Safe Haven. Troops of Operation Safe Haven within the period executed several concurrent and non-kinetic operations in Plateau and Kaduna states. These include response to distress calls on farmers' headers clash at Maraban Dare and Gero villages in Jos South local government area, Babuje and Shen villages in Barkinladi local government area of Plateau State, as well as Zamandabo and Zonzon districts in Zangon Katab local government area. During the encounters, troops successfully ensured amicable settlements between farmers and herders, as well as stopped herders from grazing and destroying farmlands at different locations. Furthermore, within this period, troops carried out raid operations on drug peddlers and cultist hideouts at Fobur village in Jos East local government area, and also again at Shen village in Barkinladi local government area of Plateau State. Several of these drug peddlers and cultists terrorizing the areas were arrested with large quantities of cannabis sativa and other illicit drugs. Similarly, during a stop and search operation conducted at Gidan Ado and Vom Road in Rion local government area of Plateau State, troops intercepted criminals and recovered some sacks containing unfinished locally fabricated revolvers and other brands of pistols, as well as filling machine within this period. On the non-kinetic aspect, troops simultaneously held peace and security meetings with community heads, youth leaders, and other stakeholders in different locations of the state. All this aiming at tackling the security challenges in the general areas mentioned. The meetings were held at Lamingo Area Council in Barkinladi local government area, headquarters, Jos South local government area, and in the Hakimi Palace at Langai Mangu local government area, all in Plateau states. Others were at headquarters Sector 5 in Bokos local government area, Jos South, and local government council secretariat at Bukuru in Rion local government area council. Also, another peace meeting was held at the Emir's Palace in Wase local government area, all in Plateau State. Now a look at Operation Wild Punch and Thunder Strike. Troops of Operation Wild Punch and Thunder Strike have continued to sustain their operational tempo in the northwest zone of the country between the 2nd and 15 July 2021. During one of these operations, troops on stop and search operation at Barde checkpoint between Jama'a local government area and Wasa in Sanga local government of Kaduna State intercepted a trailer loaded with railway clips and tracks vandalized from Wasa local government area in Sanga local government area. Troops also apprehended one Abdullahi Bello, Ibrahim Jafar, and Mohammed Yakubu in the process and handed them over to the appropriate prosecuting agencies for necessary action. In another development, a raid operation was conducted along Jigindakaya and Fanok Bede Road, all in Jammu local government area, following a distress call on a kidnap incident. Several of the victims' kidnaps were rescued. Similarly, troops responded to a distress call and repelled armed bandits attacks at Kakao village in Chukuluku government area and rescued some of the kidnapped victims. These operations successfully conducted helped in the rescue of various number of kidnapped victims and arrested some bandit leaders and other criminal elements during the period. Now a look at Operation Delta Safe. Between the 1st and 15th July 2021, troops of Operation Delta Safe executed several operations against economic saboteurs and other criminal elements within the theater of operation. Series of anti-crude oil theft, anti-illegal bunkering, anti-illegal oil refining activities, and as well as anti-militancy operations were conducted at Egelebie Jumbo Road area in Rivers State, where an illegal refining site was deactivated and several metal storage tanks laden with large quantities of stolen crude oil were recovered. Also at Port Harcourt Tourist Beach, Borokiri in Port Harcourt, where troops intercepted and arrested some smugglers, along with several trucks, hoses, and pumps used in moving illegal refined oil products. Similarly, troops recovered large quantity of illegal refined DPK products in a compound and Makoba area in Rivers State. In the same vein, troops identified a breach point on trunk lines and stopped ongoing oil siphoning at Kampala town in Nembe local government area of Rivers State. Also, troops located and deactivated an illegal oil refining site with several ovens and metal storage tanks laden with large quantities of stolen crude oil, as well as some pumping machines at Okrika town in Okrika local government area of Rivers State. Now a look at Operation Awatsi. Within the period in focus, the troops sustained the operational engagement on anti-crude oil theft and anti-illegal refining and anti-smuggling operations, as well as conducted clearance, stop and search operations within the Southwest Zone. These operations were conducted at Tomaron community, at Corner Loss Axis in the Atlas Cove Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Terminal in Lagos State. During the operations, troops arrested illegal oil bunkerers and recovered large quantities of 50 liters jerry cans filled with premium motor spirit siphoned from NNPC pipelines. Additionally, troops while on patrol within the period discovered and impounded large quantities of premium motor spirit and other petroleum products in sacks, as well as in 50 liters jerry cans at Ogogoro village and Ashipa Beach along Badagry shoreline in Badagry West local government area of Lagos State, as well as Ibokoda area in Ondo State. Gentlemen of the press, gleaning from the updates from the various theaters of operations, as I have highlighted, there is no gainsaying that there is relative reduction in the spate of incidents in the various theaters of our operation. However, in the course of these operations, some of our troops paid the supreme price, and some others sustained varying degrees of injuries. These soldiers are our heroes. The armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies will continue to forestall the activities of enemies of our dear country. Thus, we have intensified our aggressive posture to reduce the activities of criminal elements. We have also intensified intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance operations in all the theaters of operation and main criminal logistics supply routes to frustrate movement of arms and ammunition, as well as other unlawful items to criminal elements using various NAT platforms. The Nigerian Air Force also has dominated the airspace within all the theaters and provided close air support for our ground troops during their operations. Finally, the military high command large efforts of the troops for their resilience and unrelenting commitment, and further encourages the general public to continue to support our efforts by providing credible and timely information that will facilitate our proactive engagements. Thank you, and God bless.